Ford F-150 is done. Sounds great. Show you what we did. So when the vehicle was brought in, the customer had originally already did the radio install, which he did a really good job. It's using the Maestro iData system, so it's great. Everything was pre-wired. He got it all from Crutchfield, so there was no problems here. He had also put in some Alpine components in the front doors, but we found that the tweeters weren't hooked up in the pillars. The crossovers were missing, so I'm not really sure. I think he might have just kind of got in over his head or maybe got frustrated. And we also found that one of the Alpine speakers had a little hole in the surround, which is pretty common for people when they screw in a speaker. If they're not holding onto their drill, they can slip off the screw and punch a hole. So he had me change out everything to kicker. And after I got these speakers out and saw the tweeters, I kind of realized why, which was a great idea because now it jams. He has kicker KS tweeters up in the A-pillars. The kicker KS 6x9s down in the doors, they're the component set. The factory 3.5 is still running up in the dash. I played with it a little bit, actually took it out, put on an inline crossover just to see if any difference happened. It adds a lot to the audio system, so I'm just gonna leave it. It sounds fine. It's an 8 ohm driver, so it's only catching half the power that it should, so it doesn't sound bad, so I've left it in. On the back here, we did the kicker KS 6.5-inch coaxials. And then he had purchased the subwoofer, which is the kicker Comp RT 8-inch, the slim, shallow subwoofer. And then I did the amp rack with a kicker 400.1 monoblock, and then the kicker 4-channel down there. So everything is cut in and looks pretty clean. We've got the plastic amp rack. The wires are zipped and bundled and braided when you go right there. We've left the jack, everything stayed installed. I can go ahead and turn it on real quick. Let you hear it, even though we all know that audio sounds horrible over a phone. Sounds good. Sounds 1,000 times better than it did when it came in here, so it's all taken care of. As far as the wiring, I do have people that ask me, what wire I run. Stinger wire. I run dual runs, so I quit doing the dual amp kits and the dual amp kit installs with distribution blocks. I only do those if it's a really big, like, custom build and we're doing something cool, but I really hate doing distribution blocks in the back. I think they look sloppy. So this has 2 amplifiers. They both required 8 gauge, so I ran 2 runs of 8 gauge power the back. I did not run a full run of ground from the battery, even though it is a Ford. There is a factory ground point up on the top back wall of the truck, so anytime you can find a factory ground point, that usually works out well. But I went ahead and did a measurement, and between the battery's negative and that point, I'm at 0 ohms, which is perfect. So it's a perfect ground. So no engine noise, nothing. Everything sounds great. Moving on to the next one. I'm Cape Sipes Custom Audio Reimagined. Take it easy.